After years of coping with the kind of stress that hazardous parents cope with, some parents start to find themselves developing a kind of social anxiety. This isn't the same as social anxiety disorder, which is a mental health diagnosis. I just can't think of another word to kind of attach to it. Social anxiety would be about getting nervous about going to the grocery store because you're afraid of running into people. They ask how you're doing, how's your day, you'll burst into tears. Or you don't know what to say because their world is so different than the world in which you live. It's about being afraid to go to meetings because you know you're just going to hear more of the same stuff and about everything that's going wrong and funding sources running out and or yet another worker coming in to reinvent the wheel with your child, something that's been done a million times and has never worked. Um, all kinds of things where you just get to the point where you don't want to go anywhere anymore. Or if you do, you go dressed like a movie star who's in disguise with the cap on and the sunglasses and just kind of scurrying out, trying to get back as soon as you can to your home. It can also, you're still going to work, but you stop socializing with the other people at work-related events for the same reason. You just don't know what to talk about anymore because your life is so full of stress. So let's do some tapping on this. Follow along. Use your own words. Put in your own situation. And it takes much longer to use tapping to get through anything that I'm going to do with you today. This is just a guide to get you started. Remember, the first thing is to acknowledge this issue, that you really can feel this bad, that it has gotten to a point where you're developing a social anxiety. And it is time to get some help. You don't need to be trapped with this. You can move out of this. You can feel better. So let's just start with this tap tip as a first step of helping you to reach out to the world again, to function in the world again. So I know for me, when I was going through this, it would start to be a pounding in my temples when I had to go anywhere, or when I had to go to meetings about my kids, or like you said, even going to the grocery store. So we'll use the body sensation that I had. Use whatever though really works for you, wherever you feel it in your body. I hope you've had a good drink of water. Good to be hydrated when you're going to tapping. Take a deep breath, straighten your shoulders, get maximum oxygen coming in. And let's go. Even though I get this pounding feeling in my temples whenever I think of going to the grocery store, because I'm just so tired of running into people and trying to explain my life, I can let that go. Even though I get this pounding sensation in my temples when I think of going out and somebody asks me how my day is, and I'm so afraid I'll just burst into tears, I am okay. Even though I get this pounding sensation in my temples when I think about having to go to a meeting and someone's going to expect more of me or ask me more questions and I just don't have the answers, I am okay. I get this pounding feeling in my temples. People ask me questions that I don't want to answer. It's so hard not to cry when they ask me how I am. I never think of the right words. They don't want to really know and they wouldn't understand. How is my day? Can I just say awful? And then they look at me like I'm crazy. I just don't want to be around people. I just want to hide. Take a deep breath. Any particular thoughts or feelings come to you, take a look at them. Maybe you want to chase those rather than the track we're on. It's always best to go with what your brain is bringing forward to you. Let's do another round. Even though I get this pounding in my head when I think about going out in public and talking to people, I am okay. Even though I get this pounding in my temples when I think about being asked questions about my day, and all those horrible memories and images and feelings and fears come into me, I can do this. Even though I'd rather stay at home because I get such a terrible pounding in my head when I think of being around other people who don't understand about hazardous parenting, I really am okay. I feel very alone. I get this pounding in my head because I'm so alone with the words and the feelings. Other people just don't understand, and I just don't need more people looking at me like I'm crazy. Maybe I am crazy, but I don't want the world to see it. I just want to stay home and hide. I really, really just want to hide. And have a good deep breath. Let's do another round, and let's move towards the positive. You may not be ready to go there yet. You may be going after other feelings, other thoughts. Feel free to chase them. That's the important part, is to follow down what your brain is bringing to you. Even though I get a pounding in my forehead or in my temples when I think about going to the grocery store. I've known the cashier for years, and she's going to ask me how I am. I'm so afraid I'll cry. But I can do this. Even though I get a pounding in my forehead when I think about facing the cashier who always looks at my children and looks at me as if we're so weird. No, I can do this. I am okay. Even though I get a pounding in my forehead when I think about going out in public and being around people who don't understand my life and who might judge me, I am okay. Well, maybe I am okay. I can face these people. I can rehearse the words ahead of time. You don't even have to answer the questions. I can just smile. Not a big smile, just any smile, and say fine. I don't have to tell the world. And the world doesn't really know anyway. Even though I get a pounding in my head when I think about going out and leaving my home, so I don't want to face people and answer their questions, I am able to do this. Even though I get a pounding in my forehead when I think about answering people's questions about my life, that's not the hardest thing I do, and I can do that. Even though I get a pounding in my forehead when I think about being out in the world, I am able to go out in the world. I am able to go out in the world. I have no reason to hide. I may be tired and exhausted, but I don't need to hide. I've done nothing wrong. I am okay. I can rehearse the questions ahead of time, rehearse the answers, and I can face people. I can feel comfortable in the world. I choose to feel comfortable in the world. Let's do one more round. Even though I still have some remaining pounding in my temples when I think of going out, I choose to manage those feelings. Even though I still have some remaining pounding in my head when I think about answering questions from well-meaning strangers or from bad-meaning strangers, I can answer them. I choose to answer them, and I am okay. Even though I get some remaining pounding in my temples when I think about going out and facing people and talking to people, I choose to go out. I choose to be okay. I choose to be okay. I choose to be around other people. I choose to let other people distract me and take my mind off what goes on in my life. I choose to function in the world. I choose to have answers that are good enough. I choose to go out and feel okay. Take a good breath. Remember, it's hard, I know, but you can reach out. There is support out there. Nothing lasts forever, not the good and not the bad. There is a healthy and positive way out. Reach out for help, and remember, you are entitled to a better day.